large number of people who report working no hours and getting no pay. Abhinay Muthoo is Professor of Economics at the University of Warwick. Abhinay, very good morning to you. First of all, your reaction to those figures. Try and put those in some kind of context for us if you can.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning. Yes, I mean it's not good at all. And the figures that you pointed out, about 640,000 between March and June. I mean, the fact that the ONS reports only a slight dip, that's probably because of a lot of people are on furlough, and so they don't probably capture the true extent of joblessness at the moment. And the worries, as you pointed out, Phil, is what's going to happen when the scheme comes to an end in the autumn, and the government has no intention of extending it. So there is a concern that this is going to get worse. There's a worry about whether we'll break the 3 million number that was in the 80s. People are talking about the unemployment figure might go to 4 million by the end of the year, early next year. So there are scary prospects that people are thinking might happen, and the question is whether the government can make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, you've got a real ticking time bomb here, because 9 million people apparently are benefiting from that job retention scheme out on furlough. Now, you've got to assume that some of those will go back to work, but, you know, it doesn't take an expert to understand that there will be some of those also that won't. The latest ONS projections suggest maybe anything up to 1.5 of the 9 million will lose their jobs come October. When was that? When, I mean, you know, you mentioned there 3 million unemployed in the 1980s. That would therefore take the unemployment figure past those numbers, I guess.
It would if the government just sits still. Okay. Right. Now, what I'm expecting is that I'm expecting the autumn statement by the Chancellor will be speaking to this very issue. Okay. And I think he's already hinted in terms of more support is to come in terms of skills, for example, right? So what do you do with people or businesses that are going under and are losing their jobs? Young people, graduates, school leavers. So what he needs to do, and I think one of your commentators made the point earlier on, I overheard, is that he needs to, which he hasn't been doing, is look for targeted schemes.
Right. So the stuff that he announced last week, Professor Muthoo, the Kickstarter scheme, stuff for green jobs, retention bonuses, that's not enough.
That's not enough. That is not enough. These are unprecedented times. He knows that. He said whatever it takes. And he needs to put more resource, double the amount he's putting. He needs to relax the fiscal rules, and he needs to do it in a targeted way. At the moment, all the schemes are sort of blunt instruments. You know, the job retention scheme is for anyone, right? Some people don't need it. It's going to be a waste, but he knows that. So he needs to think over the next 2 months or the summer, how does he target which sectors carefully to minimize the unemployment rate?